Hey, good morning. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of The Spiritual Scientist. I'm Victor. Thanks for checking me out. So, hope you're having a great day today. Just thought I'd talk to you a little bit while I drive to work again. And there's a lot always going on. I could just make a video every morning about things I think of, and I think it'd be quite interesting. I really do. For everybody else, because I'm interested with certain things I think of. So, a lot going on in the news, and if you've been have been asleep for the past 20 years, a lot's been going on with the what out there in the market and marketplace in the world. Very weird that you can't say the word because you'll get censored or something. So that is one of the things that's horrible, and because of a lot of misinformation. Here on this channel I talk about kind of multiverse things sometimes, and different timelines and things like that. And if you look at what the CDC's been pointing out, and then they keep changing, it's not their fault. I really don't think. I think it's a lot of shifts going on, and a lot of prayers. Let's look at it from a different point of view. If you're a spiritual person and you're praying and you don't want this to happen, and that doesn't happen, and then they have to change a guideline, then that would mean that it worked, right? But everybody gets upset. They want to be stuck in their old paradigm. So I would suggest just let it go and let positive things happen. Like I mentioned on this channel many times, a couple of times really, it was a 9% mortality rate, and then it went to 0.93, I think, and then now with Omicron it's even less. So I think it's important to let go and stay positive. I was thinking about it with the first recorded Mandela effect. There's a lot of them, but would the first one be when Jesus turned the water into wine? Would that be like a Mandela effect? I mean, if you think about it, it was one thing and it became another, so it's a miracle. To me, it's pretty cut and dry. So everybody was astonished that it was. Didn't we all have water here? No. Oh, it's wine. Okay. So that's what it really is like. It's like when you see things change and morph, and then everybody's like, oh, it was this way. Oh, no, it was this way. So I think it's important to put a lot of these things into, this is a spiritual scientist channel, into a spiritual and a scientific, frame of reference, to use those kind of knowledge and, check it out. Like Mandela, he died, but yet didn't die, and then he died later on, and all this. So that would show a resurrection. So in fact, timeline didn't have him die. So same thing kind of with Jesus. He died, but then all of a sudden now he's alive, right? The difference is then he was showing his wounds. But you could think of it almost the same way. Now, if you had, we have Mel Brooks. Everybody remembers him dying, and now he's, alive. And it's very interesting because in Revelations they say at the end of things, when Christ returns, people are going to be coming back from the dead. And obviously and among other people who have had these kind of things happen, it's not for everybody to know. It's not for everybody to see, because who sees these things? The believers, mostly. Now you could say, well, I'm not a believer. Well, you saw it, so maybe you are a believer and you don't know. Now you can believe, because you actually have the factual things happening. So I'm sure, and one detractor would say, well, you mean the dash in a Kit Kat is meaning that, about the second coming? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that would be a way to look at it from, a lower perspective. And I was talking about in my last video about, I think it's important to have a two-dimensional frame of reference, because our reality is based in two dimensions. And I think it's important to, become cognizant. There's a whole kind of religious movement about Taoism, about looking at things, positive, negative, and when you're transcending the dualistic nature, that's been when you have a higher perspective. So I have a relative who has always, somebody is kind of, baiting them, a kid always doing certain things and detracting them, and they fall for it every time. They go, oh, why do you act this way? They're just doing it as a tease all the time. So that's when you're on a two-dimensional perspective. You're giving into that. Your reaction, you're getting action, reaction. But thinking in a higher dimensional perspective is when we think about things and then we go, oh, so you can't make that quantum leap until you understand that there's a two-dimensional perspective. So I think it's super important to think about, two-dimensional perspective and, move onward from there. So we have, positive, negative, male, female. And it's when we lose our perspectives on these basic tenets of male and female, that's when we get really screwed up. So we have that a lot of sports. A lot of people are out there and saying, no, wait, I'm really a female. And it's just, if you don't have a correct perspective of the dualities, then you're lost when you want to think about higher dimensional things, and how it relates to life. You just really are lost. So I thought I'd talk about that a little bit, and these are just my driving ramblings, so apologize. But when we think about what Jesus said, be coming back on the clouds, what does it mean when that in a way he's saying, yeah, I'm gonna come down from the sky, I'm gonna be there for everybody to see. But what do we have now? We have the internet, we have the cloud computing, we have clouds, we have things that are one thing and then turn into another. We have Mandela effects, we have all these kind of things. Are these the clouds? Are they the clouds that are our reality's clouds, and then it just comes and then becomes something else? It's because it's vacuous, because we have these vacuous things that are out there, and then they change. So that must be like a cloud, how a cloud changes shape. Is it because Jesus said cloud was, there was, in ancient times, there was a way to think about it, and referring to something as being in a cloud would be like the manna from heaven. That would be like when the blessings come and then things, change, like what's happening now. I think that's pretty obvious. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. I hope you're going to have a great day today. Like, subscribe, share. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.